Welcome to the Band Director Breakfast Show. I'm Jet.
And I'm Steven. Today on the show,
We have Honey Nut Toasted Oats. Our administrators try to do band stuff. And we check in on a band director not doing band stuff. It's the Band Director Breakfast Show. We're gonna share with you what we think we know today. What's for breakfast today, Steven?
well, we're going to have Honey Nut Toasted Oats.
Those look familiar.
They are. This is one of the prizes that you didn't win a few weeks ago.
You lose! I lost bad.
You lost by a lot.
Lost hard.
Let me give you my honest and total review. If I were on a desert island and I were starving and there was nothing else to eat except for these, I would eat them, but that would be the only circumstance.
Well, that's a relief.
Yeah, I'm going to be throwing these away.
Steven, I have an idea.
Yeah?
And it might have been your idea, but I'm saying it was my idea.
That sounds good.
I think we should put our administrators to the test. See what they know about our jobs.
Oh, I love that. We can like make them do band things.
Yes, all the band things. Well, 2 band things.
So I've got a principal, you've got a principal.
Yeah, that's true. We have different principals, and we should put them to the test.
Let's make them do band things.
My name's Adam Bramlett, the principal here at Eastland High School.
My name is Jason Henry. I'm the principal here at Eastland Middle School.
I started off and I taught 6 years at an elementary school. Followed by that, I coached at the middle school and high school level for the next 6 years. Then went into administration at the elementary level, and then moved out here to Eastland 7 years ago to become the high school assistant principal at the time, and for the last 5 years, principal.
I was a teacher and coach for 9 years, and then moved into administration. I've been a high school assistant principal, an elementary principal, and now a middle school principal.
In 7th grade, I tried out for the percussion, and I basically was patted on the head and said maybe next year.
I was the lead in a 5th grade musical, and my singing quality was so terrible that they actually allowed me to speak the words rather than sing them.
When I was young, I had a plan of what I thought I'd do. I'd build a place where I could make people's dreams come true.
Task number 1 is pretty simple.
Okay,
We line up a bunch of instruments.
we have those.
Yes, and the administrators have to label the instruments. Not too bad. You want to see how it goes?
Yeah, I'd love to see how that goes. Who's going first?
First up is Mr. Bramlett.
See, I'm going to change these around 100 times.
You have all the time in the world, unless Mr. Henry does it faster.
Well, I'm got my sights set pretty. Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. I mean, I thought one of these would say drum. So is there a card for every instrument?
There is.
All right, we're fixing to get creative here. Holy cow. I feel like I should know more of these.
That's what we're for.
Yeah, that's why we pay y'all the big bucks. This is embarrassing. This is what this is. That's not a piccolo.
Well, I mean, you might get them all right.
If I get them all right, I'm going to buy a lottery ticket.
Spoiler alert.
I'm already wrong. Don't worry, I know that.
I am.
All these other band directors are just howling at me right now.
They're loving that you're doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, believe me, I know they're loving this.
My administrator would never do this. That's what they're thinking.
You know what? I'm not going to get any smarter standing here putting these cards. This is wrong. This is so wrong.
All right, and we're gonna stop it right there. I feel like
See,
I'm
there's
missing a.
There's three
There's
things.
three things not there. What is the deal with that? Let's see.
See, I'd have got more right if I'd have had more cards. You guys normally teach instead of expose. So I think I've been exposed for my lack of knowledge of some of the instruments. But in my defense, drum would have been really easy. Thanks for not helping me out.
All right, well, obviously that was amazing. But this time we're going to let Mr. Henry do it, and Mr. Bramlett will be joining Mr. Lawrence to help heckle.
He's going fast.
Ooh. Yeah, we're gonna save the cabeza for last.
Yeah. How do you think he's doing?
Oh, he's blowing me out of the water because now that he's putting these up there.
We'll see.
See, I hit that point after like 3.
Oh.
And I don't even know if I got those 3.
Oh. He's changing his mind about some things.
Sousaphone, I've heard of that. Xylophone, and that's not that, and that's something different. If I put 2 on the same one, do I get? No, that's okay. There's more choices than there are cards.
Yeah, that would have been nice to figure out before I got to the last card.
Oh my gosh.
How many do you have left?
I have 3 left.
3 left. Okay. You're at 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Oh. And looks like he's done. Got your time. Got it. Stephen, the results are in.
All right, how'd they do?
Well, Mr. Bramlett labeled 4 correctly.
Okay.
Okay, all right, it's pretty good. Mr. Henry labeled 8
That's twice as many.
correctly.
Yeah, that's more challenging than what I thought it was going to be honest, because I'm used to these instruments being a part of my vocabulary every single day.
That's exactly right. And that just shows you when you're talking to your administrators about instruments you need to purchase, you might want to describe them to them.
That's
so
right.
they know what you're talking about.
Bring some pictures.
Yeah.
So I think we need to give Mr. Henry a trophy.
Oh, I'm already on it.
Oh, wow. I can finally make my mother proud. But I want you to know, guys, that winning this, it's a huge honor. I couldn't have done it without the folks around me. And do know that if all of you will put your mind and heart to it and really practice all these things that are taught, you can be as good as me and get a band trophy with a treble clef like this on here.
All right, so this time we're going to have Mr. Henry go first, and we're going to give him a clarinet and have him put it together and play it, but we're not going to tell him how to do it.
Play it?
Yeah, he's going to have to make a sound.
Yeah, I don't like that piece right there.
Lots of cool looking stuff. Man. Ooh, getting fancy.
Yeah.
It's like a Christmas present. You're at 1 minute and 37 seconds.
I really wish I knew whether or not that comes out of there or not. Oh, that don't sound good.
This is turning red.
Oh! I know you blow over this and it makes noise. But where does it go?
2 minutes, 20 seconds.
Well, I'm looking for a notch, yeah.
This is how every sixth grader feels when they see one of these for the first time.
Okay, this feels crazy, but wait, that's a flute. This one, yeah.
I heard it. Did you?
I heard it sound.
Did you hear sound?
I heard it.
Okay.
I heard it. Good job. Nicely done.
I feel like I'm in the right ballpark here. You know, duck calls and predator calls have reeds in them.
Yeah.
But in my defense, they're inside and closed
I get it. Yeah.
regularly. But
I saw that thought process, but you got to the right place with read on the outside.
yeah, this should have been a bigger clue to begin with. I was thinking more of a device to attach two sections rather than.
It all looks alien when you look at it for the first time.
Yeah.
Turnabout's fair play. So now it's Mr. Bramlett's turn with Mr. Henry behind the camera.
And I'm figuring this is one end. Oh, and I'm sure those go in 90,000 different directions. What kind of sound do I have to make? Does it have to be pleasing or just?
I did an F flat, but whatever you do.
Yeah, I got F flat for you.
It's a fancy note.
I mean, but I got extra pieces.
So,
But just try to play it.
Well,
See, I'm not going to ask a question because last time I said, does every instrument have a card? Yes.
Well, in our
So-
defense, we thought they did.
in my defense, it was Jet's fault. Hey, what is the...
Am I going to break this if I play?
No, probably not. Hey, there is another piece that you need, and I told him this, so I don't feel bad about it. It's in the case still.
Looking at two.
It's not that. Yeah, you won't need that. You could use that. You don't need
Is this
that.
the reed?
Ooh.
I know it doesn't go in that way. Oh. I mean, I can make a sound come out of this thing, I'm pretty sure. Oh. Oh. I feel like your students are going to lose all faith in their, as they should. Yeah, I've seen it enough to know that it goes somewhere in this area. Oh, there you go, you moron. I'm going to assume this is the top.
You played this in sixth grade, didn't you? Wrong end. Really passionate. Just tap, 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 tap.
All right.
All right, so
Stop
here.
in the clog.
I know the idea is to get a vibration, but
I think, and you know, if we really wanted to, in about 5 seconds, we can get them both to make clarinet sounds.
I know, maybe we'll
did
do
you
that.
make an
Maybe we'll
actual
do that on
clarinet
the
sound, or
interview.
did you just kind of?
Yeah, well, that was beautiful.
We'll
It
come
sounded
back.
like.
All right, both administrators put together a clarinet and made a sound. I mean,
It was kind of like a sound.
there was wind going to the horn, and you
Sure.
could hear a. Okay, that's a sound.
It's a sound.
Yeah. So now the question is, who won?
Yeah. So if you look at the assemblage of the clarinet, they both assembled it equally good, equally bad. You know? Yeah. How close were the times?
So, Mr. Henry did it in 3 minutes and 50 seconds.
Okay.
And Mr. Bramlett did it, this is crazy, in 3 minutes and 45 seconds.
Wow, that is just neck and neck.
Super close.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and I think maybe make the tiebreaker the condition of the reeds. So let's have a side by side of the reeds.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, so you know, Mr. Henry's reed is destroyed. It is toast. There is no way he's getting a sound out of that.
Not a good one. That doesn't sound like a chainsaw. No.
Yeah, so as close as this is, I think we're going to give this trophy to Mr. Bramlett.
Wow, thank you very much. I never knew that assembling a clarinet so badly would lead to an award, but here we are in 2021 where everyone gets an award. But you know what? I had a lot of fun. This was very eye-opening, very humbling, but it also lots of laughs. You know, watching some of this back with Mr. Henry, it's hysterical. We both laughed at each other, with each other, but mostly at each other.
I want students to be involved, and band allows as a program where a lot of students can be involved and be successful. And I know that that's their key to success in school oftentimes and into life.
When it comes to grades, when it comes to attendance, when it comes to behavior, generally speaking, I'm not worried about my band kids. There's something about music. There's tons of scientific evidence that correlates to being in the band, being around music, and a higher elevation.
Texas public schools would not be the same without what y'all do.
So we're really fortunate at Eastland. We have wonderful administrators, and you can tell that just by the fact that they were willing to do this with us.
Yes, and they've been our principals for 7-8 years now. And so we've kind of grown over time. We've gotten to know each other. We know how to communicate with one another, and it makes our job wonderful.
And you know, while it hasn't always been easy, we've had barriers like this where we go to talk to them about something and they have no reference point for it. They've always been willing to listen to us, to learn, and I think that's what makes them excellent administrators.
That's right. And to cap it all off, you're going to have to explain to them what a sousaphone is.
That's the takeaway. They don't know what sousaphones are.
Hey, I'm Patrick Odom. I'm the assistant principal at Eastland High School. I was in band. My dad was a band director. Big old grumpy guy, but you know, so I grew up in band. You know, it was quite disappointing to see that nobody knows what a sousaphone is. John Philip Sousa would be very disappointing in y'all.
Hey, Jet.
Hey, what?
Did you know that there is more to life than band directing?
What? What?
There's more to life than band directing. So today we're going to hear from a band director about a thing he does that's not band.
I can't wait to learn what it could be.
This is Brent Colwell, and he's going to be talking to us about sailing.
Band director's not doing band things.
Today I'm talking about my hobby while I was band directing, and still a hobby of mine that I enjoy occasionally, and that has been sailing. I started sailing when I was 5 years old. It was an activity my dad and I particularly enjoyed together, and here's a picture of my dad and I. It's one of my favorite pictures. I like the way he looks down on me with a lot of pride, and there I am, skinny 10-year-old kid, same glasses. While it's not a music-related activity, there are a lot of lessons in music to be learned from sailing. For instance, you can adjust to the wind. You can sail with the wind. It kind of taught me some rehearsal strategies, that some days you just kind of go with how things flow. Other times you have a very direct path of what you want to get done. There was a period of time here in Central Texas that there were probably 10 or 15 band directors who sailed. And one night, several of us decided to go out sailing, and there came a tornado coming up from Salado just as we got out there. Mike Olette, one of the band directors who was assistant at Temple High at the time, Glenn Doyle was there, Leland Chirac, James Flowers, who's an orchestra director, and Tom Fairley, who was then director at Temple College. The storm came over and we decided to batten down the hatches and just listen to the weather radio. It came right over us. It came directly over the lake, right over the marina, but it didn't hurt us or hurt anything. And then the weather turned out beautiful, so we went ahead and went sailing. It was before cell phones. So we sailed maybe till 10 o'clock that night, and when I drove up in the driveway, the garage door opened, and my wife was standing there with her hands on her hips, and I knew I was in trouble. And she, to this day, accuses me of going sailing in a tornado. The power of when you first pull up the sails and the wind picks you up, it's a very enlightening feeling that really I always loved. I love the rhythm of the waves and the rhythm of the wind, and it's a great hobby.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
These ideas, they work for us, but they might not work for you. If you have different ideas or better ideas, put them in the comments below.
And remember, get lots of rest.
Stay hydrated.
Like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to eat breakfast.